Hi, folks. Hi, everyone. Ken from Pittsburgh. Sunday night. Well, Sunday night at actually 12:16 a.m. So it's after midnight. I go through these kind of videos, and it gives me a chuckle, somewhat of an education, and but I want to share this with you. It's like um, super short. It's a little silly, a little funny, but it carries some truth. Now, I'll be 76 next month sometime. And that makes me an old man. I am an old man. And, okay, let's get me framed. And you know what? You can't help but think, watching those die your age or near your age around you, especially hearing of celebrities that you loved to watch, enjoyed, you admired, and you liked them, die. We just lost, well, I can't think of their names right now, but they'd be in their mid to late 70s or very early 80s. They're dying. Diane Keaton, the latest. So the Grim Reacher's watching you, and he's hanging around. Now, I'm a born-again Christian. Death does not carry, it doesn't carry any fear, I don't think, in me. Uh, I don't have anything to fear from death because I'm born again, saved. No matter what I do, and no matter what happens now, later, whatever, I'm going to heaven. I have God's promise. I have Christ's promise. I asked Him to save me from hell, save me from the just deserts of my own sinfulness and my own innate, naturally born fallen nature. And He says, you ask me and believe I'll do it, and I'll do it. And He's done it. I've asked and He's done it. So there's a little religious overtone. But this is cute, it's short, and I just bought earlier this year a 2022 Mustang Mach 1. Now it has a really cool motor. I love motors. This perhaps is the most sophisticated and successful V8 motor Detroit ever made. And it is in all the Mustang GTs, and a lot of it you can order in your Ford F-150s, and certainly is in all the Mustangs. It's in all the Mustangs that are GT, Mach 1, 350 GTs, and 500 GT Shelbys. The Shelbys and the GT 350s have the size is bumped up a tiny bit to a 3.2 liter. No, a 5.2 liter, I'm sorry, which makes it about 317 cubes. And GTs and in my car, the Mach 1, the newer Mach 1, which is now discontinued. They made the Mach 1 2021, 22, and 23, and then they discontinued it. Anyway, it's a dual overhead cam with 12-to-1 compression. 12-to-1, folks. And it revs up to about 7,500 RPM. I was blessed to have a 302 Boss Mustang for a while back in around 72, 3. It only had 50,000, so it was basically still new. And it was a Boss. I have a picture of it, and I'll try to display it here if I can. But it was rated at 390 horsepower from the factory, my Boss 302, 70 Boss 302. You could only get them with a 4-speed, and you could only get them with the shortest gear that you could get, or shortest gear, or maybe tallest, I forget how it applies, was a 391 gear ratio. And I remember having it, and it was quick, it was fun, but it just didn't pull hard enough. and yet it was probably had a true horsepower rating of about 330 horsepower, very similar to the old Camaro Z28, 302 Z28s back in the day. Anyway, it wasn't enough, and I found that if you want to get my advice, if you want to get a fun car, and it can mean a lot to you if you're a man and you're a gearhead and you're tired of looking over your shoulder and being reminded of the brevity of your life that's left, I would suggest bite the bullet, go in debt if you have to, and you do pay big premiums. I'm going to try to get this. I've tried a little bit to knock down my yearly insurance, and I don't drive it much, and I don't drive much at all. And look how old I am, but I'm still paying like, I don't know, $1,600 a year for that car alone. And auto insurances are just rip-offs. But my advice, if you get one, get an automatic. They make very powerful cars today. The Dodges and the Camaros and Corvettes and Fords, GTs and those kind, you can get almost all of them except the GT 350 Shelby in an automatic. They don't make that one anymore either, but it's very late models and they quit making it. And that motor in the GT 350 Shelby, it revs to about 8,300 RPMs. You're way out there. That's stretching it, folks, and it's a lot of fun to see that red line, that tachometer go way high like that. And the GTs in my car goes to a red line of 7 to 7,500 RPM. The old Boss 302s and Z28s went to 7,000 RPM, and they had push rods. But I want to play this for you. Let me say, guys, if you can swing it, and you're old like me, and I am old, I am thoroughly surprised at the fun I'm having in this Mustang. It is a blast. Do your research. The Camaros are very fast, probably the Dodge Demons and stuff, but I won't own anything with a demon name or Hellcat. I know what those things really are in reality. They're more than just names. It doesn't make the cars evil, but I won't advertise those names by driving such a labeled vehicle. So I drive a Mustang, and the Mustang, the newer Mustangs have better visibility for us old folks. The amenities are great, and they're small cars. And your new GT Mustangs run about 480 rated horsepower. And especially with an automatic, you don't have to shift. You can feel the kick down. It's a blast. Your wife can drive it. You can drive it when you're tired. We're busy enough at our age making sure we have good night vision, good vision. And I recommend the Mustang for all of you guys. I think and you can get used GTs pretty cheap. And believe me, it'll be all the power you need right from the factory. And if you got $10,000 to spare, get it supercharged. And I would recommend to older folks like me, you get the centrifugal superchargers. They don't bring the power in at the bottom. It's a lot easier to control, drive, and safer, I think. Because the supercharger on those types, like a Pro Charger, or like what I have, an ESS, is the manufacturer's name. It's European supercharger. It doesning come into about 3,500 or 4,000 RPM, and you still have plenty of revving after that when you got a 7,500 RPM red line. So you can drive it normal with your 480 horsepower, and then when it crosses that 3,500 RPM line, you get a big punch, and it is a blast. And it runs on 93 octane, and so you get fuel everywhere. So that's my recommendation. I don't have long. Either the rapture will get me, or death, natural death will get me. But I get in this car, and the pull of it, it's like it's just, and I don't have to drive like a fool with the power it has. Get a car that runs under 13. In other words, runs at least in the 12s from the factory. 12.99 is fine. Don't get anything, if you can help it, get something faster in the quarter mile from the factory on the street without any alterations that run under 13 seconds in the quarter mile, and you'll have that feeling of pulling acceleration that you'll find exhilarating and fun, and you'll find yourself laughing driving like this is a trip, and it is. The cars today are much more powerful, and they're all four-wheel disc brakes, big old sticky tires. If you don't drive like a fool, and you shouldn't at my age or any time, you'll be fine. I don't intend to drive it, in the rain. You might get caught, but you get it home, and or finish up your drive and park it. And I'm certainly not going to be driving it once the salt hits the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania roads, and is on the roads whether there's ice or not. I'm not driving my car. I've junked too many cars that Pennsylvania salt has ruined in short order. And with that, I'm going to show you this video. And boy, 11 minutes. Well, let me shrink me down. Hello. It's funny, but it carries some truth. And I'm advising you, if you can afford it, if you're not putting your family in jeopardy, what family do you have? You're my age. You have you and your wife. Go enjoy life. So you can't take it with you. Here we go.
Doctor asked if I had any feelings of depression. I was like, nope, I got a race car. He said, I don't think that counts. And I was like, clearly, you don't have a race car. Doctor asked if I had any feelings of depression. I was like, nope, I got a race car. He said, I don't think that counts. And I was like, clearly, you don't have a race car.
All right, we're going to replay this again. It's just funny, and let it sit. It's so short. And I'll end this.
Asked if I had any feelings of depression. I was like, nope, I got a race car. He said, I don't think that counts. And I was like, clearly, you don't have a race car. Doctor asked if I had any feelings of depression. I was like, nope, I got a race car. He said, I don't think that counts. And I was like, clearly, you don't have a race car.
Well, this is a slightly older Mustang and GT. You can see that it's either a 5.0 or a GT. And it's new enough to have what they call the Coyote motor. That's that dual overhead cam, 12-to-1 compression, small block, that pumps out 400, rated at 440 to 480 horsepower, the newer GT you get. But it's really the same motor. There's 4 generations, they say, of Coyote, these Mustang dual overhead cam motors. The 3rd generation is arguably the best. It can be tuned, which means you can throw anyone who knows who has a little bit mechanically inclined, has the health, can throw a blower on it. And it's not that hard. It saves you. Today's mechanics charge you at least $150 an hour. Okay, so do the work that you can do. Do it alone. Do it yourself with a buddy. And then take it to a tuner. It'll drive. Take it to a tuner who knows what they're doing with computers on cars and how to tune Mustangs and supercars like this. And it's not much to get it tuned. It's quite a bit. It's half labor. You're paying $10,000 to get a ESS supercharger. They're the cheaper of the kind, yet I like them a lot. Rated highly, put on, and the superchargers and ESS will run you $7,000 approximately, because there's a few other things. They'll have to change your injectors and things and put a boost pump on the back. on your electric fuel pump, a booster, give you a little more fuel. Still getting 23 on a good day on the highway. My 10-speed, 2022 Mach 1. And around the city, spirited driving, I'm getting 11 to 12. It's not. I have a Subaru. I think it's not. It's a cross-check. I had an Outback, like Subarus, good family car. The cross-check is very thrifty, and and you could see in the Mustang, you get a little more visibility. And this one's slightly older. I imagine has a Generation 1 Coyote. You could probably be satisfied with that. It's not the horsepower, but they improved each generation. Probably, again, do your research and try to get a Generation 3 Mustang GT. And automatic, if you're older, I'd get an automatic. And it's got all the power steering and air conditioning and great stereo and ABS brakes and handling package you'll ever need. And, especially if you've got a family daily car, you put it away for the winter. Okay, this has gone long enough. God bless. Come to Christ. Be happy.